Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening or this morning, depending on where you're joining us from. We've got a bunch of schools here from around the United States to talk to you a little bit about the benefits of single gender education. So thank you so much for joining us. And we will go ahead and get started. We would ask that if you to put your mic off while we are going, because we are recording this and it's also on Facebook Live. So please keep your mic off until the end. And we will be taking questions at the end. So save your questions for then. The presentation will be about 20 to 30 minutes, and you're going to hear a little bit about single gender education in general and also from all of our schools individually. So thanks so much for joining. Could we go to the next? So now that you've shared a little bit about yourself, I want to share a little bit about us. We've got 7 schools joining us here today. So my name is Marisa Calder, and I am the International Program Coordinator at Incarnate Word High School in Texas, and we are an all-girls school. And I thought we could just go ahead and introduce ourselves starting from west to east. So Junipero Sarah, if you want to go first.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Keller with the International Students Program at Junipero Serra in San Mateo, California.
And are you a boys' school or a girls' school?
Oh, yeah, that might be important, right? We're all boys' school.
Perfect, thanks.
For 75 years. Thanks.
Awesome. Flint Ridge.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tracy Howe, and I serve as the Director of Admissions at Flint Ridge Sacred Heart. We are in the city of La Cañada, Flint Ridge, in Southern California, and we are an all-girls school.
Thanks. Michael?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name is Tom Alzuski. I'm the Director of Admissions at Mount Michael Benedictine. We are an all-guys school located in Elkhorn, Nebraska, which is about right in the middle of the United States.
Let's go with Subiaco.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marian Dunnigan with Subiaco Academy, an all-boys Catholic school located in beautiful Arkansas.
Okay. Chaminade.
Great. Yes. My name is Mark Baczynski, and I am the Director of Resident Student Admissions at Chaminade College Preparatory School. We are an all-boys school for young men in grades 6 through 12, located in the western suburbs of the great city of St. Louis.
Awesome. And last but not least.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jeremy Clark. I'm the Director of Admissions at St. Stanislaus High School. We are an all-boys high school, 7th through 12th grade, located in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, on the Gulf of Mexico.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So as you can see, we've got a wide variety of different schools here today, both boys and girls, and lots of geographic diversity to share with you guys. Tracy, do you want to go to the next slide? Yeah, so you may be asking, even if you're interested in university study in the United States, why is it a good idea to study abroad in high school? Well, of course, getting that global education started early can only help you, because you're going to get a chance to get used to U.S. culture and the American classroom before college. And this is something that can sometimes trip up international students, is just not being used to the classroom style, the teaching style. And so you kind of get to experience all of that in a safe space at the high school level when you come a little early. It also gives you the chance to really become fully bilingual. As you probably know, it's a little easier to learn when you're a little younger, but it also gives you the chance to potentially live in a boarding environment where you're surrounded by students that are from other countries and from American staff, or you might be in a day school environment where you're living with a host family who only speaks English. So either way, you're going to really get that full immersion experience at the high school level and really bump up your English level before you go to college and have to write 20-page papers or whatever it is. And the other thing is that it really improves your chance of going to a really good university because you're going to get the benefit of college counseling at the high school level. You're going to get the benefit of getting to participate in activities at the high school level, which U.S. universities really love to see, and be able to maintain that high grade point average and get the help that you need before you head off. And of course, just on a personal level, not just an academic level, it's a chance to travel. It's a chance to learn a bit more about yourself, become more confident, become more academically trained before you go off to college and learn what your interests are. Learn more about what sports you'd want to play, what clubs you want to be in, and what your interests are before you go off to college. And of course, you can make lifelong friends and get a chance to experience that unique high school environment in the United States that you've probably seen in movies, but maybe haven't experienced for yourself. So lots of reasons to come to the US before before the university level and get that high school experience. And I think we can go on.
So there are many choices for going to school in the U.S. If you're an international student. There are more than 35,000 private schools in the U.S. And private schools are really what you're going to want to target when you're looking at going to school in the U.S. Before the university level. Now, understand that almost 70% of private schools in the U.S. are affiliated with a religious organization, including 20% that are Catholic, like most of, maybe all of the schools on our call today. To be able to receive international students, a school must be certified by the U.S. Government. And you want to be sure to look for CVIS certification when you look at the website of the schools that you're interested in. They must be eligible to receive F1 or perhaps J1 students. Now, most of the schools that receive international students in the U.S. have ESL programs for students who need assistance with English. So don't feel as though you need to be perfect at English before you arrive in the U.S. That's one of the wonderful things that you'll learn while you're with us is you'll become very well versed in English and have the help that you need. Now, many schools are boarding schools where you live on campus, but there are also schools that help arrange private stays with families in the area. So be sure to look for both types of schools. Now, another thing to think about as you're considering schools in the U.S. are how you're going to select those. There are many wonderful agents all over the world who are ready to help you select a private school. But you need to understand that you do not necessarily have to go through an agent. Every school that you may look into are probably going to work with you individually without an agent if that's your preference. So be sure to be smart about that. Next, let's hear about the benefits of going to an all-boys school.
Thank you very much. So yeah, we've talked a little bit about why you should study in the US in your high school years, and then also the benefits of looking at private high schools. I'd like to tell you just a little bit about the benefits of boys' schools, and I would like to do that as it relates to the traditional American classroom. So in a traditional American classroom, you'll see, mixed, co-ed, both genders, male and female in the same classroom. But the classrooms are typically set up to really, kind of either go right down the middle, or they're maybe set up more for girls. And what do I mean? In a traditional American classroom, you'll see students sitting still for long periods of time, focusing on one subject at a time before going on to the next. Usually you're asked not to disrupt, please sit quiet, work quietly, work hard, and then you do get to practice some speaking and listening skills through that by raising your hand and answering and then sitting quiet otherwise. But things that you don't see are some things that would really benefit young men. And that's the ability to move around in the classroom, focus on multiple subjects at once and how they work together. Instead of working silently and quietly by yourself, boys' schools will often encourage our young men to work together in groups, sometimes competitive groups. It really gets those competitive juices flowing and helps the guys really work towards a common goal. And we also do things like practice fine motor skills. That personalized instruction, those hands-on experiential education type projects, and even informal spaces really help, boys with the style of learning that would really help them to be most successful. And Tracy, if you can go on to the next slide, I'll continue. There are 4 strategies that most boys' schools will look at. And some of those are, as I was mentioning, active classrooms, build their classroom activities around how boys learn best. If you're sitting there and you're sitting quiet, but you feel like you want to speak up, you want to join in a group, you even want to change desks. A lot of times, that's allowed in an all boys environment. That goes right into the differentiated instruction. You know, it's not just a teacher talking, reading out of a book, but you may be able to watch videos. It's not uncommon to see some guys reading, some guys listening to audiobooks, and other guys even watching videos of someone reading a book for them. You know, this is just different types of ways that boys learn, and that's put into place in the classrooms. You know, experiential learning is that hands-on aspect. You know, if you're learning about physics, why not take, you know, a pumpkin and throw it off the roof of your school, let it hit the ground and explode? You know, that's kind of fun, right? But at the same time, we're teaching the boys that gravity is pulling down on that pumpkin at 9.81 meters per second. You know, the trajectory of that pumpkin on an inclined plane will determine how far those pieces explode. You know, just having fun, competing, you know, really learning by doing is what's very common in the boys' classroom. You know, and by doing that, you're also forming these collaborations and social bonds with other students in the class, and even your teachers and the administration, who often will stop by to see what's going on and participate. So there are a lot of reasons why, you know, boys' schools might be best for you, but these are just some of the 4 effective ways that most boys' schools use to teach boys.
Thank you so much for that, Mark. I think we're going to switch over to girls' schools now.
All right, thank you. As a proud alumna of an all-girls school, actually I'm honored to be able to share a little bit more about the benefits of an all-girls high school. Really what happens is that girls' school places are places where girls take center stage. Girls occupy every seat in the student government, every spot on the math team, and every positions in the robotics club. In fact, you know, at a girls' school, every aspect from the classroom to the athletic field to the academic program is designed for girls. By subtracting boys, you know, an all-girls school's education adds opportunities for girls. Whether a girl wants to be an astronaut or an ambassador, an author, or an attorney, at an all-girls school, the girls know that they don't have to think, but they know that there's nothing that can stand in their way. And that's the incredibly important message that girls' school sends to girls each and every day. At the heart of it is that girls' school are places of leadership. There are places where, you know, community and collaboration will flourish. But really most important at all-girls school is that there are places of incredible innovation. Whether the school was founded, you know, 200 years ago or 2 years ago, it's inevitably a school that involves trailblazers, that's creating spaces where teachers can challenge limits, and inspiring girls to imagine and explore all possibilities that perhaps they've never really considered before. In addition to, you know, arts and humanities, girls' school really have a long history of engaging girls in subjects of STEM-related fields. So the science, technology, engineering, and math fields, girls' schools are really leading the way in STEM education for women really across the world. You know, stats have shown that graduates of girls' schools are 6 times more likely to consider majoring in math, science, and technology, and 3 times more likely to consider engineering compared to girls who attended, you know, co-ed schools. And that's happening for a number of different reasons. The fact that research is telling us that the students at all girls schools really have an unlimited number of STEM role models. They are really benefiting from the particular line that says, to see it in order to be it. So the girls are really digging into it and seeing that they as women can be represented in fields that have typically been underrepresented by women. You know, every day the girls are seeing that the students are in advanced calculus or physics or, you know, computer science classes. The message is very clear, is that girls really feel empowered to excel in an all-girls environment. And really, girls' school prepare students to become women who rise to the highest levels of leadership. There is that fostering of girls' voice that really encourages the girls to exercise their voice from early on. Students are encouraged really expected, in a sense, to speak their minds without interruption. A national survey recently showed that nearly 87% of girls that attended an all-girls school feel that their voices, their opinions are respected. And that's in comparison to 58% of girls at co-ed schools. Really, an all-girls school does not shelter their students from the real world. On the contrary, I think the greatest sense of respect is that the school really enables the students to better find and use their voices, first in the classroom, then beyond in boardrooms, on the political stage if needed, and then in anything beyond college and really in life. So in conclusion, the possibilities are endless at an all-girls school. I could go on and on, but I think, it's a girl occupies every role, allowing her to really explore and succeed in any interest, even ones typically dominated by boys. So everything is possible. Really nothing is off limits at an all-girls school. I'll stop there and pass it on.
Thanks so much for that, Tracy. Yeah, so thank you so much for that. Kind of gives a general overview of why we're so excited to talk to you about all boys and all girls education. And now we are going to move on to the school presentation. So we're going to hear from both the all boys schools and the all girls schools, so stick around. And we are going to go through. If you are watching on Facebook, one other thing I would point out is there is a link on the Facebook page. So if you want to receive more information from any of the speakers today, you can go ahead and click on that link and submit your information. You'll hear from us shortly after this presentation. So go ahead, Marion.
All right. Well, I would like to introduce you to Subiaco Academy. Subiaco Academy is a Benedictine Catholic school. Benedictines have been teaching young people for 1,500 years. And so they have a long legacy of educating youth and in the Western classic tradition. Subiaco has been in existence as a school since 1887. So we have more than 130 years of educating boys in our monastery setting. You can see on the screen, we are a working monastery with about 35 religious who work with our students, as well as lay faculty and staff. Everything we do is centered around the Benedictine tenets of faith, scholarship, character, and brotherhood. These are critical to us, and we don't make a decision or write a new curriculum without those 4 tenets in place. We've been very successful with our students. We have 100% college acceptance rate of all students. This includes international students and domestic students. All of our international students go to school in the US at top institutions. We have a very low student-teacher ratio at 9:1. This means that your student will get very intensive attention and assistance with all subjects taught. Our average class size is 15, so they're in courses with a very, very small group of boys, and that's in all classes. We've been very successful in producing students who do very well when they go on, including scholarships. Our students last year averaged $150,000 in scholarships each for moving into higher education. So we're very pleased with that. We also have students from all across the US. 15 different states are represented this year. We have students this year from 9 different countries, and we're always excited to have a new country represented. You can see in the photograph behind me on the background all of the flags of the countries that are represented in a given year at Subiaco. And we're very proud of that. At graduation, we actually display those flags in our inner court whenever we go process our graduates out. We have approximately 150 boys with us at any given time, so that keeps us small enough to really, really get to know our boys very well. and understand how to teach each person effectively. You do not get lost at Subiaco. We all know your name. One of our greatest strengths are our outdoor programs. We have 1,500 acres that belong to campus, and we're located between 2 national forests made up of more than 1 million acres each. So when our boys aren't in classes or doing sports, they are mountain biking, they are hiking, they are fishing in our ponds. You can see one of our ponds right there in our slide. We are located in a very rural area, but what we can do is work with outdoor education as a supplement to the academic rigor that we have and the sports that we have. And we think that creates a good recipe for education and a healthy environment for boys. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And it looks like I am up next. So I would like to talk to you a little bit about Incarnate Word High School, which is an all-girls school located in San Antonio, Texas. So we're in a much more urban environment than Subiaco. We're in a city of about 1.5 million people, and we're right north of downtown, so you can actually see the downtown skyline from campus. But it's a very nice area. It's a historical neighborhood. I actually live in the same neighborhood myself, and we've been here since about 1881. So we do have a long history of being here in San Antonio, and we have been here for and been an all-girls school for that entire time. And as Tracy mentioned when she was talking about the benefits of girls' schools, we really feel that an all-girls atmosphere really empowers young women. We were founded by the Sisters of Charity, who came to San Antonio to alleviate a cholera outbreak. So we have brought down that tradition through the years and had focus on STEM, focus on medicine for a lot of students, and really taught our girls that they can be empowered, and there is no limit. They can do whatever they dream of. We do have one really unique feature, which is our modular schedule, which prepares students for college. So basically what this is an opportunity for students to manage their own time. So they do have classes scheduled throughout the day on a normal schedule, but they also have open periods, which they're able to arrange as they wish. So they actually schedule their own tests for when they have decided that they're prepared. They can schedule office hours with teachers. They can schedule their homework. They can do research in the library. And this really teaches the time management skills that you're going to need in college. And it also kind of gives you a lot of control over your schedule. And our students brag that a lot of them see who can finish all their homework during the school day. We also, since we've been here for such a long time, we have a really amazing community with alumni stretching back decades and decades who are really involved with the school. So you'll be joining that grand tradition as well. We do offer AP, honors, and dual credit options as well. We do have a partnership with a local university, so you can take dual credit classes in person to get that college credit ahead of time. We are a day school, so you have an opportunity to live with an American host family while you're here with us. And so this is a perfect opportunity to practice your English, get to learn more about the culture in the United States, and have kind of a family around you as you get started with your school in the US. And we do offer ESL as part of our regular school day and have a fabulous ESL teacher to help you along the way. And so we have about 400 students and quite low student to faculty ratio, about 12 to 1, and small average class size is about 16. And our students go all over the country. I think last year we had international students go on to UC Santa Cruz and different art institutes and UT Austin and all these kinds of big schools around here. So those are all really, we're very proud of all of them. And so I think that's pretty much it for me. If we want to go on to the next person. Thank you so much.
Great, thanks, Marissa. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. As I said before, my name is Jeremy Clark. I'm the Director of Admissions at St. Stanislaus High School. We are located in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, on the beautiful Mississippi Gulf Coast. As you can see behind me, our campus actually sits right on the Gulf of Mexico. That's a 1,000-foot pier that connects to the front lawn of school and goes right out into the Gulf. We are an all-boys day and boarding Catholic high school for young men in grades 7 through 12. Our mission here at St. Stanislaus is to form each of our students to gospel values by nurturing his spiritual, academic, and physical growth. and a place of sanctuary structured to embody the charism of the Brothers of the Sacred Heart. We were founded by the Brothers of the Sacred Heart in 1854 here in Bay St. Louis. So we've been here on the Gulf Coast we're in our 167th year of educating young men here in Mississippi. As an integral part of our mission, we maintain a boarding program that offers students opportunities for educational success and personal growth within a disciplined and structured environment. Our goal here is to work with each of our students to help them reach his full potential with a focus on religious values, discipline, personal attention, quality, athletic and extracurricular activities, and of course, academic excellence. As a result of this emphasis on holistic education, it is our expectation that when students leave us, they are well-rounded young men who recognize the need to continue their own spiritual, emotional, social, intellectual, and physical growth, who have developed self-discipline that guides their actions, who nurture positive relationships and build community, who are intellectually curious and prepared to meet the academic demands of college. I invite you to explore our website, give us a call, pay us a visit, find out all that we have to offer here at St. Stanislaus. And I believe I'm going to pass this on to Tom now.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy. My name is Tom Alzuski, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mount Michael Benedictine School. We are also an all-boys day and boarding high school. We are rooted in Benedictine values, specifically the Benedictine values of community, hospitality, integrity, service, and moderation. So everything that goes on at Mount Michael, whether it be on the athletic field or within the classroom or in the dormitories, everything is kind of fostered around developing those values within all the young men that come through our school. I am a product of Mount Michael myself. I graduated in the year 2013. The mission of Mount Michael is to develop students, a brief synopsis of our mission is to develop our students spiritually, intellectually, and socially with the end goal that when they graduate from college, they will be future leaders within their said community. Some of the highlights of Mount Michael are going to be a 440-acre campus, a 47,000 square foot STEM learning facility, small class sizes. The average class size at Mount Michael is about 12 young men per classroom. And that goes with a 7-to-1 student to teacher ratio that we have. And what that allows for is a very rigorous college prep curriculum. The Mount Michael curriculum is known for having 12 plus advanced placement classes and a variety of honors level classes. And it's very common for a lot of our students to actually graduate from Mount Michael and have up to a year or even up to a year and a half of college credits completed by the time that they enter their first day in college. In addition to that, opportunities is something that we value very, very strongly at Mount Michael. There are 240 total students in the Mount Michael student body. And of that number, 2/3 of them are involved in at least 3 different activities, whether it be athletics or non-athletics. The picture that you see right now is a pretty good summary of everything that we offer at Mount Michael. In addition to that, and in addition to what Mark was saying, we're also highlighted with hands-on learning, such as rock chiseling in art class, rocketry in physics class, as well as various dissections in some of our biology classes freshman year and advanced placement biology classes as you go on. So I invite you to take a look at our website at www.mountmichael.com, as well as search for us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to get a better insight into everyday student life for our students. And as I said, I look forward to continuing our conversation about Mount Michael as well as all boys schools. Thank you.
All right. Hi again. My name is Tracy Howe, and I have the pleasure of serving as a Director of Admissions at Flint Sacred Heart. As I mentioned earlier, we are located in Southern California in the city of La Cañada Flint Ridge, which is about 23 kilometers from Los Angeles. So with easy access to city destinations, beaches, mountains, and the desert, our students can really have any type of experience that they dream of. But we just want to make sure that they also go to school, but it is in a location that they can easily access, all different types of excursions and different experiences. As an all-girls day and boarding school, we welcome students from all parts of the U.S. and countries across the globe. But really for us, our girls are at the center stage of everything that we do. We want it to be safe for them to learn, to explore, and to grow. Flint Ridge Sacred Heart is dedicated to really expanding opportunities for our girls to be represented, again, like I mentioned before, in areas that tend to be underrepresented by women. We have developed a computer science and engineering program. Our girls are learning how to code, they are designing apps, and that is even before they hit, the university level. A signature program for us is, in our curriculum, is a 4-year research program. This was crafted and created to give students the experience of writing the types of papers that they will be asked to do as soon as they enter the first year of university. For us, this capstone program really represents our commitment to preparing our young women for university level coursework. I actually love to tell Nicole's story. Nicole is a graduate of 2016. She had it all planned out. She was going to be a doctor. She was focused on science, period. That's all she wanted to do. But when it came time to do a junior research project, she struggled to find a topic. She couldn't decide what to do. She couldn't find something interesting, but she worked very closely, and her advisor was patient with her in guiding her throughout the process to really dig deeper. He helped her identify a topic that resonated with her personally, and that was a discrimination against Asian Americans in the media. This led Nicole to actually study maternal mental health and postpartum depression for her senior research project. And she went on to create a dual major at Scripps College, where she ended up attending. This is really what she learned. She was able to apply and really help her in her university level as soon as she entered. But really at Flint Ridge Sacred Heart, it isn't about fitting a mold or striving to look or act in a certain way. It's about each girl understanding and loving her true self. Whatever they want to be will help ignite their dreams. So if you want to learn more about Flint Ridge Sacred Heart, don't hesitate to reach out. And with that, I'll pass it on to Mark.
Thank you, Tracy. So you've heard a lot of great things about a lot of great schools. I'd like to let you know a little bit more about Chaminade College Preparatory School. Chaminade is located in St. Louis, Missouri, about 10 minutes from downtown. We've been operating here since 1910 as both a middle school and high school for young men for our entire history. I'm also a graduate of Chaminade. I graduated about 20-something years ago and loved it while I was here as a student. And I was actually able to take part in both our day and boarding programs as a student and really feel that they both have some very, very unique and great things to learn from them. Chaminade has about 500 students in our high school, which actually for a boarding school is considered quite large, and as a day school is considered somewhat small. So we feel that we fit kind of this unique niche right in the middle that we can be the best of both worlds. One of our signature programs is the PACE program, Pathway to Access College Early, PACE. This is comprised of 28 advanced placement courses and over 110 dual university credit courses starting as early as the 9th grade. We've partnered with St. Louis University, the University of Missouri, Cisco Systems, and others in order to offer these courses taught right here on our campus by our teachers. 95% of our teachers hold advanced degrees with masters and doctorates, and they're able to be adjunct professors for these universities and give the same types of classes and curriculum that would be followed at that next level. But all of this is challenging. It is rigorous. It's hard work. So we don't let the students meet that without the support that they need. Our academic resource center, our guidance counseling office, our house counseling office, and even our international student advisors are all there to help make sure that our students can hit these challenges head on and be successful. But All work with no play makes Jack a dull boy. So we want to make sure that our students also have the ability to get involved outside of the classroom and after school. With 18 varsity sports and over 70 different teams and 40 different clubs and activities, you will see our boys out on the basketball courts, tennis courts, maybe right outside my office here, taking part in our barbecue club, photography, and much, much more. We want to make sure that we're really educating that whole young man to be the best he can be, not only for his possibilities of applying to university, but for his time in the future as well. Even as a school of 500 students, we do focus on, individual learning. So with the student to teacher ratio of 9:1, an average class size of 16 students with a cap at 20. None of our classes have over 20. We want to make sure that our students get that individual hands-on experiential education that boys' schools are known for. If you'd like to learn more, it's easy to find us at We Are Chaminade on any social media or chaminade-stl.org online. I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to answer any questions that you may have. Thanks again for joining, and I'd like to pass it on to Mike.
Hi again, everybody. Reintroduce myself real quick. Mike Keller from Unipro Serra. I'm also an alum, like some of the other speakers here tonight, so it's great to see some other alums out there. Unipro Serra, we just had our 75-year anniversary. We're in San Mateo, California, just to give you a little bit of the nuts and bolts. That's 10 minutes from the San Francisco airport and about 20 minutes from downtown San Francisco. So you're in a suburban environment with real close access to not only a major airport, but a major city in the U.S. I'll tell you a little bit more about our academics. Similar to some of the other speakers tonight, our class sizes are quite small. We have about 800 kids in the school itself with around 20 international students yearly. We do have a cap on the amount of international students we take at Serra, with the purpose being that we want to be able to create the family environment for those students. We don't want them to get lost in the crowd. While we do want the international students to be interacting as much as possible and enjoying the American experience, we do want to create that safe environment where they have people to rely on, people they can trust on campus to help them on the journey. At Serra, we really want to be on the journey with you. Our academics are based on the UC, University of California, college entrance requirements. So everybody who graduates from Serra meet the UC system requirements, and obviously many of our students exceed those requirements with 100% of our kids getting into a university. Many of our students go on to the UC system and some of the other outstanding universities in the US. And I really would stress the biggest thing I can tell you about Serra is come to the Serra for the holistic and caring environment that you're going to have there. You're going to meet everybody. Everybody's going to know your name. You're going to be able to talk to the other boys. You're going to be able to talk to your teachers, and stressing the holistic environment that we have here. We want you to get involved in clubs. We want you to play on a team, but we also want you to push yourself to be the best young man you can be. And then at the end of the journey, you go off onto your life. That's all I have to say tonight. If you're looking for more information, feel free to contact me. I'll be happy to tell you more. And thanks everybody for presenting this awesome experience.
Thanks, Mike. And so that concludes all of our schools that are with us tonight. You can see all of our contact information here, and I'll also send this out via email tomorrow. So if you're trying to scribble this all down, don't worry, it'll be coming your way. Yeah, we'd be happy to take any questions that you have at this point. If anyone has any questions, we can go ahead and take those. And if you're on Facebook live watching from there, again, if you'd like to receive an email with all this contact information and the slides and all of that, please go ahead and click on that link on the Facebook Live so that you can register, and we'll go ahead and send you all that information. If you have a question on Facebook, you can also comment your question and we can answer it that way. We got some amazing schools here. I'm super impressed. I'm like, oh man, I wish I had known about this in high school. I did not go to a boarding school because I was from a very rural area, but Excited to be with y'all now. Any questions from our attendees or anything that any of our presenters would like to say in conclusion? Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for coming tonight. Like I said, we will send out all this contact information out tomorrow so that you can get in touch with anyone that you'd like to follow up with and learn more about your next school, hopefully. So thanks so much for joining tonight, and have a wonderful evening or a wonderful morning, depending on where you're joining us from. Thank you.
Thank you.